Giveon blew up when he was featured on Drake's Chicago Freestyle, and subsequently dropped some huge hits of his own, including Heartbreak Anniversary, Like I Want You, and Stuck on Me, all maintaining his old school, vintage-inspired R&B production aesthetic. In this video, I'll be making a beat from scratch, inspired by those tracks I just mentioned, and I'll be implementing a few key things that Giveon does along the way for you to use in your own productions when you want to get that kind of vibe. Firstly, the time signature. A lot of Giveon's music is in 3/4, which gives a really unique feel to the groove, and it's just a nice change of pace. Secondly, I'll show a few of the chord secrets he uses to give that nice old school jazz vibe while still maintaining a poppy enough edge to keep his place on the modern charts. And lastly, I'll go over how sometimes the simplest bassline is the best bassline for the track. Anyway, on with the beat. Right, first key point, as I mentioned earlier, we're in 3/4 today. Tempo of 132, give it a little bit of a faster feel. But yeah, we're in 3/4. Giveon likes to do that in quite a few of his songs, and it definitely changes the groove a bit. And I'm going to start with the drums first, so you'll see how that groove develops in a second. And let's dive into it. All right, cool. I've got Addicted drums loaded up. Got this really dry sounding kit here, sounds like this. So I'm just going to lay down something pretty basic. Giveon keeps the drum patterns nice and simple, which we like. Right, let's just record straight off the bat, see if we get anything cool. We can build off that really basic groove, a little bit of quantized, not too on the grid, because we do want this to be with that nice swung feeling. Now let's just get a simple hi-hat pattern going in here as well. I like that. And then let's double this, merge these by pressing G, and then add like a fill at the end of this part. Using maybe some toms. Yeah, just that. Very nice. Line that up a little bit more with that snare here, and we're good to go. So you can see how that groove being in 3/4 or 6/8, depends how you want to count it, but because I'm doing quarter notes, 3/4 makes sense. You can just see how it just changes the groove, gives it a more laid back feel than a 4/4 beat, which would probably be like a backbeat or, you know, snare on the 3. Nice, gives us a really good foundation. All right, next up, we're going to go to the piano, write a chord progression, and that's going to bring us to the next key point I mentioned in the intro, which is the chord structure, harmonic structure, all that jazz. No pun intended, I promise. Right. Alright, we've got super smooth piano recorded. Now I'm going to explain a little bit about the chords I was using so you can understand how to get that kind of really smooth, mellow R&B sound in your own productions. So chords for you, and then one little tip you can use in your own productions to make it sound more Giveon-ish is that we've got an E flat major 9 going into a G7, going into an F minor 11, going to a B flat major 9. So if you actually shift the order of the chords by 1, you get, and say you started on the G, you'd have a 3, 2, 5, 1 in the key of E flat. So it's basically a really simple 2-5-1 jazz progression, but you know, with a bit of extra spice added to it. And the other thing I've done, which is something Giveon does on Heartbreak Anniversary, or probably Giveon's producer realistically, is change the 3 chord, the G, which would be a G minor usually, to a G7, which, I don't know, it adds that kind of mellowness, the bit of sadness in there somehow. I don't know, it's so nice. When I heard it on that song, I knew I wanted to do it, so yeah, sounds awesome. And then all I did additionally to that on the piano was just add this little twinkly, super simple couple layers, so yeah. Let's process that piano up. Now, I think the piano needs some body. I'm thinking the rear. very, very subtle bit of compression. The other thing I think it really could use is a bit of Pultec EQ. And you can see I'm doing this classic Pultec trick here. You just put the boost and attenuation on the lower band on the same thing. Doesn't work on the higher band, by the way, they're not the same. But if you put this at the same, then change this, you can get a really nice little kind of resonant boost there. That's so smooth. Send that piano to our little room reverb as well. Get that in the same space as the drums. Copy that over to the piano as well. For that little piano thing, I think some longer reverb could sound good a bit. Oh yeah. That needs very little. I'm tempted to add a bit of Studer tape to this as well, the piano, just a little bit more body. Not too much though, that's way too much. It's just softening it, thickening up the low end, bringing up the low mids a tiny bit. Really nice. Oh, I am so happy with this so far. And you know, sometimes with these simpler beats, it's, you know, they seem so simple. We've got 3 parts in there right now, but getting them to sound cohesive together is so satisfying. Next up, low and slow bass. Just like I said in the intro, last key element before we add some nice little sprinklings of extra sauce that I'm, you know, my own personal taste. So yeah, let's get some bass on it. I think we're going to go live bass for this and put it through an amp. Let's try that out. Right, we've got that super simple bass part in, and like I said, it's low and slow. It's literally just the root notes, it's dead simple, but it anchors the groove so nicely. I think all I want to add is some vocal kind of choir things, like there's these cool, like really haunted vocal choirs. Can't really sing right now because I just recovered from some horrible food poisoning, but we're going to give it a go anyway. So let's see what we end up with. First layer of ooze done. Something like that. Another layer of ooze in. Let's do another one. Let's get the old Melodinius on here. Amazingly, I have actually managed to sing these the same. Don't know if they were the notes I was going for, but look, you do what you can. I can't really sing, so I'm not going to complain. Right, we've melodined those. They sound alright. Got some nice little ooze there. Let's get some bloody processing on there. Giving it some LA2A compression here. I want to get some reverb on there. Also going to get some Pultec on there. Cut a bit of the lows out. I'm also going to attenuate a bit of 10K because I want it to be more in the background. Now this could sound wicked with spaced out on it. Now, a little vocal production tip for you. Always try and clean up your stuff a little bit like this. Get the breaths out. Make sure all the backing vocals and stuff end at the same time. Just tidies up your mix a little bit. It's not like massively critical, but when you're producing, it's all about marginal gains. And that's one easy way you can just tidy up your mix a little bit. Alright, got those oohs in, sounding amazing in my opinion. I can't really sing, so I'm actually really pleased how those turned out. Anyways, if you haven't already, please like, subscribe, all that jazz. Comment what you want me to do next, because I'm taking suggestions. They all go on the list, so I will get around to them. And yeah, see you in the next one. Peace.